Loading. And we're live. What's going on, guys? I'm sorry I'm late. Me and Keith were just talking because we haven't talked in a while, but that's why I'm so happy. Keith is here. So let's clap it up for Keith. First time on the channel. Keith and I, we used to work together, but even before that, I followed Keith, and then we ended up working at John Boy together, and he was like the first guy who helped me, get going on day one. So I appreciate Keith. He's a Cowboys fan, as you can see. First Cowboys fan on the channel, but it's okay. It's a Dak jersey, and I do adore Dak. I just gotta say I do adore Dak. Oh wow, the
How
terrible
about them
towel of the Cowboys.
Cowboys? What's up,
So
y'all?
I'm just so excited. I'm like literally excited to have you on here, but I'm also excited to talk to you because we haven't talked in a while, and that's literally why we were late. We were just talking.
Yeah, I was just trying to catch up with you. I mean,
We were just catching up.
I've obviously been subscribed to your channel for a while and been watching your videos and keeping up with you on social media. But like you said, we worked together, and when you came in as an intern, I had already known you from social media. I think I watched your vlog when you like came to a Yankee game. I think you like got a
Oh, the
hotel in New
DD
York or
home run in
something.
the wild card game. Yeah.
And from then on, I just was like, okay, she's got it. She's got sports, pun intended there. And it's like, to see you go from an intern and to keep doing your thing, you're now like John Boy Media alumni. And, I love the lane that you're in, especially with like NFL stuff. John Boy Media, we don't really have too much NFL stuff yet. I know they're working on it. And I told you, I was like, hey, if you ever need a guy that can talk football or talk Cowboys, hit me up and I'll come through. And I know a lot of people probably look at my like Twitter and Instagram and think like, oh, he just knows Yankees or he just knows
No,
baseball
this
or
dude was a quarterback.
right, like, or he just knows
This dude
the
literally
Nets
played
and
football.
basketball. I'm like, honestly, people that grew up with me are probably more surprised. They're like, this guy played quarterback from Pee Wee to college. He's a football guy. He knows football. And what I'll say is that I know football deeper than like the surface level. Like basketball, baseball, I never get too deep in the like X's and O's
Yeah.
and
That's what
like
I
the
wanted to
film
ask you.
study. I'm a fan. So we do fan-made media and I talk about the fan perspective. I even came up with the term fanalist on Talking Nets. I say we're not analysts, we're fanalists, aka we're just like you, fans of this. Like we didn't play professionally,
That
we didn't
run.
coach, we don't know the ins and outs. But football, I can say like I played Division I football at Monmouth University, at James Madison University. My senior year, we won the state championship at Ocean Township High School. That's short conference.
Jersey.
Like I can say playing quarterback, I know the X's and O's of football, but the way my career took me, I just didn't get into any like football content really. I've done some podcasts, I've done some live stream content, but I'm a Cowboys fan, so nobody in the New York market really wants to hear what I think.
No, I was gonna ask you because I always thought it was interesting. You played like football at a high level, so your football IQ, like you have to know how to read defenses. You learned playbooks, like you know what is going on like in
Yeah.
Dak's head and in these quarterbacks' heads. So I was just curious, like, what is that like watching when
So
you were the quarterback, you were making the right read, doing all this stuff.
So I try to shut up during games. I'm not at the level of like Tony Romo who can literally like see emotion and know exactly what the offense is going to do and what the defense is going to do and what's to come. But like I remember actually when I was in the fan cave in 2014, I stopped playing college football in like 2011. So like 3 years after college football, I was still pretty sharp on like recognizing coverage, recognizing defenses, pre-snap read stuff, no, like literally knowing what is about to happen before it happens and then like calling it out as it's happening. So I was in the fan cave in 2014, all baseball fans, but the NFL kicked off, and I think it kicked off that year with the Seahawks and the Packers, two great quarterbacks, two great offenses. And I'm down there watching the game, and I'm just like, hey, watch that motion. I'm like, they keep going 3 wide receiver sets. Like they're scared. Like, I don't know why they won't go too tight. I'm just talking stuff like that. And my baseball friends, compadres, they're like, bro, we don't care. We don't know what you're talking about. We're just trying to watch the football game and enjoy it. We don't need to know how many high safeties there are. We don't need to know how many people they're sending on a blitz. Like, that's cool that you know that, but like, don't do that. So now I just kind of watch and keep it to myself, but I always watch the game. I tell people I try to watch the game from the inside out because the average person just watches the ball, right? So technically
Yeah.
you're watching like the quarterback and the skill positions in the outside. If you learn to watch the game from when they line up and look at how many down linemen there are, look at how many offensive linemen, how many tight ends, whatever, and then when the ball snapped, watch them bang and then watch the plays open up, you'll start to have a different understanding for like the whole pace of the game, why things are happening, what's going on, why they keep running the ball, why they keep throwing to this receiver. Obviously, you can see that because like the commentators will be like, oh, yeah, this is a rookie corner. He can't cover this guy man to man. They're going to keep going his way. But, I recognize those things, and it's part of just being, a football player growing up. You have to learn that stuff. I learned that stuff from age 12 to 22. 10 years of my life, I played football every fall. So it's always a part of me. I'm in the John Boy media world where we talk baseball, we talk Yankees, which is cool too. I wish I could have been a baseball player. I wasn't that good at baseball. I wish I could have been a basketball player. Wasn't that good at basketball, but football was my ticket into college. And I think I figured it out from there on, besides actually going to the NFL, which I wouldn't want to be in the NFL. Tom Brady's 44. I was thinking about it today. I'm like 44, like at 24, I didn't want to play football anymore. At 44, like you have to be, I don't even know. Like you have to be a madman to want to go out there and like potentially get hit like that for
Yeah.
all those years. It hurts.
Yeah, I
It
can't
really
even
hurts.
imagine. I literally cannot imagine. I like getting hit all the time, especially in the cold. I always think about that. When it's
In the
cold, getting thrown on the ground,
source.
like I can't, I
But
couldn't deal
football
with that.
players they're wired different up here. I said that last year with like the COVID stuff. I'm like, some of these guys, they don't care about COVID. They don't care about that. They just want to go out there and bang, bang, bang. They just want to go out there and hit. They're not worried about getting a virus. They're not worried about any of that. They just want to play football. They don't care if there's 80,000 people in the stands or there's 8,000. Like these guys are just trying to rock. And that's what I love about football. It's American Gladiator. These are
Yeah,
literal gladiators every Sunday, literally trying to kill each other. And it's legal. It's fully legal.
yeah. It's football's crazy. I just want to shout out the people in the chat real quick. Valerie, what's going on? Valerie, you just started school. How's school going? I remember that. Senior year. Big Play Slay, what's going on? Big Play Slay, he said something about you. He said, even though Keith's a Cowboys fan, I like this guy so far, man. Big Play Slay, he's an Eagles fan.
Oh no. Boo.
John, what's going on?
My second least favorite team. My like most hated team is the Giants, then the
Oh,
Eagles, then the
okay.
Redskins.
What's going on, Manny? So yeah, what's going on, everyone in here? Everyone's basically saying the Cowboys are going to lose tonight. Keith, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, they're probably gonna lose. See, that's the thing about me. I'm not a delusional Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
There are a lot of Cowboys fans that like they just I don't know, they just think the Cowboys are something they've never actually seen. And like a lot of younger Cowboys fans too, like you've never even seen the Cowboys get past the first round of the playoffs. Why do you have so much confidence in them?
I was talking to the Sports for you guys. They do like live play-by-play for football games on YouTube, and one of them is a Dallas fan, and they both live in Dallas. And he's like, yeah, it's so weird in Dallas. Like, there's not really Cowboys fans. He's like, I feel like a lot of people are like or maybe international, but like national, international, and it's more, I guess, like
Soccer.
casual fans, like fans when they're good.
Yeah, so I have actually been to Dallas. That's funny you say that. There's a lot of different kinds of people, but I'm the type of person, like when I went to Dallas, I think the first time I went to Dallas was like 7 years ago, and I was a little younger, and I just was like pumped to be at Jerry World and like be amongst other Cowboys fans because I'm from New Jersey and there's no Cowboys fans. I'm like, I'm finally home. But what I found was like not everybody wearing a Cowboys hat or jersey or Cowboys logo on them like actually follows the Cowboys. It's more of just like a thing out there. Like you see the Cowboys star everywhere. You see the Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys font everywhere. And
Yeah.
not everybody you meet, if you go to a restaurant, yeah, the bartenders are going to be wearing Cowboys jerseys. But if you say something to them, like I remember back then, I'm like, is Dez your favorite player? Like nice Dez jersey. And the girl was like, no, they just gave me this to wear. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm like trying to start a conversation about football, about the Cowboys, and you don't really watch the Cowboys. So don't worry about it. I know we're in Dallas, but no big deal.
Yeah, I feel like that's almost like the Yankee hat in New York to a certain extent. Like, the Yankee hat's kind of like almost a fashion statement.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are a
Do I
ton of
have a
diehard
Yankee?
fans, obviously, but
I don't have any Yankee hats in here. I have a.
no, your old profile picture was the Yankee hat was you with like I remember you posted on.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm
new hat, new season, new hat.
I'm a big Yankee fan, obviously.
Just walk around wearing that.
When I was younger, people used to say, like, when I was younger, I remember people be like, "Yo, you a Yankee fan, or you just wearing that hat?" Like, "Oh, or you watch the Yankees, or you just wearing that for style?" And I would like take that shit personal and be like, "You want to talk about the game last night? You want to talk about how many innings such and such pitch? Like, what do you want to do? Like,
yeah.
Where are we going with this conversation? Because you already asked the question, assuming that I must not really watch the Yankees and I'm just wearing the hat for fashion or style. But if you want to have a conversation about baseball, I would love to.
Yeah, for sure. Someone said you look like Chase Claypool.
I'll take that. I got
Have
the
you gotten that
dreads.
before?
No. If you actually saw Chase Claypool in real life, he's huge. And he's also got like a big ass head. I got a big head too, but he's got like a mega mind head. He's like, isn't he Canadian? I gotta pull up a picture.
Yeah,
He's got like
he's
a big ass head.
Canadian.
But yeah, I'll take that as a compliment. It's the dreads with the blonde in them.
Just got a crazy super chat from Jeremy. Thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy says, I'm a Cowboys fan, but I hope we win. But it's not going to be easy. But hey, you never know. Go Cowboys. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Really appreciate it. Totally unnecessary, but
I hope we win. I hope we win. Listen, I don't think we're gonna win. Nobody thinks we're gonna win. Look at the spread. That's the largest spread of week 1. And I love week 1. I don't gamble anymore, but I used to always gamble week 1 because week 1, literally nobody knows. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows what's about to happen, especially in where we're at now after the COVID season with no preseason. We go into this season with preseason and an extra game, right? So with that extra game, this week 1 game is also preseason. I don't think the Cowboys are going to win, but that's because everything that you read, everything that you watch on ESPN, FS1, YouTube tells you on paper, the Patriots, wow, I said the Patriots, Tom Brady and literally Tom Brady on the mind. Tom Brady and Tampa Bay should win.
Bay.
We got plenty of time to talk about it. I think I'll save at the end. I'll save my Dallas Cowboys fan take, delusional Dallas fan take, and this is why the Cowboys are gonna win. But I'm not gonna talk like that the whole time because nah, no way.
Again.
It can't be. There's no way it's the Cowboys' year. The Cowboys are not winning the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. There's too many good teams.
The thing about the Cowboys is this: like in the NFC, I'm actually nervous that the Cowboys are going to win the NFC East. Them or Washington are the 2 teams I'm the most nervous about. But the thing with the Cowboys that's so weird is the Cowboys, they have possibly a top 5 offense if everyone's healthy, but then also possibly a bottom 5 defense. So it's like, is Dak going to just throw for 400 yards per game again like last year before the injury? This team, they could be so good if Dak just throws 4 touchdowns a game, 400 yards a game, and just does everything he can, or they're not going to be good. I don't know. They're really unbalanced, I feel like.
Welcome to the NFL. Especially week 1 is the NFL. There's so many ifs.
Yeah.
What if Dak gets hurt again? What if Dak is not the same player? What if Dak can't throw for 400 yards a game like he was in the beginning of last season? What if Zach Martin is out, which he is? What if that offensive line is still not good? We have brought back, and I'll talk about Zach Martin now because as soon as I saw Zach Martin was out,
I was going to ask you about that.
We're
that
done.
Makes me nervous for Dak.
We're done. I'm like, he's not just our best offensive lineman. He's arguably the best offensive player we have on the team as far as grades go. They grade players play by play. He doesn't lose many plays. He's a captain, a Pro Bowler. You lose that guy, the first thing I thought was like, I can't do another season of this COVID stuff where like certain players, whether it's fantasy players or a player on my favorite team, can't play because they tested positive.
Like Saturday
Or
night, you find out. It's like, oh.
yeah, or like Saturday night you find out, and then they're shuffling things around. They're playing games on Tuesday night, Wednesday night. I'm like, I can't do this again. Like, just give me the NFL like straight through. And last year the NFL did push through and play their season as scheduled before.
That was pretty crazy. I
Yeah.
thought the season might get canceled at some point last season.
The only league that like didn't really adjust. So, but yeah, back to the Cowboys. It's a bunch of ifs. If Dan Quinn is a good defensive coordinator this year for this brand new defense where he has some former Falcons like Keanu Neal, but then you also have rookies like Micah Parsons, who like the Cowboys weren't even targeting Micah Parsons. We needed a corner in the draft. And the top two corners come off the board, so we just took the best defensive player available. Great. If he's ready to play, I hope so. I think so. What about this D line, right? There's so many question marks with the Cowboys. The NFL is literally the NFL. Like, if this happens, if this goes this way, if Tom Brady can still do it at 44, if Tampa Bay doesn't have a Super Bowl hangover, if I don't know, the Tampa Bay D line can get to Dak, if Tristan Wirfs is gonna have a sophomore slump, is Winfield gonna have a sophomore slump? Like, there's just so many question marks.
Yeah, I mean, how are you feeling? Oh wait, real quick, big play Slay. He said, I think the Cowboys are winning the division at 10-7 in first place. He wants to know what you think, Keith.
I think the Cowboys are winning the division at 10-7 in first place. I'm not gonna.
I could see that.
I'm not gonna disagree with that.
You don't think they're going 10-7?
No, I'm not gonna disagree with that.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
I'm with that. Like, what? Like 10-7 is not a delusional Cowboys take. In the NFC,
he's an Eagles fan.
In the NFC East, we have the best quarterback. In the NFC
by
East,
far.
Like, we have the best offense.
By far, too. Like,
if we can figure out this defense, we should be able to win a division. And then there's some other games that you throw in there to go 10-7. Extra game this year. If everybody stays healthy, the Cowboys should win the East. And 10-7 is not, like, too far-fetched.
Jeremy, another super chat from Jeremy. Thank you, Jeremy. Totally unnecessary. You don't have to do that. Appreciate it, but totally unnecessary. He says, y'all forgot the Eagles in 2016 was in the basement and won the Super Bowl in 2017. It's the NFL. You just don't know what you don't know. Exactly. I mean,
that was different.
Can happen.
That was different, man. That defense was beast. Everybody knew that. And then what happened that year, and now we're going back years. What happened that year is kind of what I hope happens with the Cowboys tonight. The Eagles were the underdogs in every game they played with Nick Foles. No one expected them to win. Vegas bet against them, and they shocked the world, and they shocked the world. They shocked the world again, and then they were Super Bowl champs. Like, I don't think the Cowboys are sneaking up on anybody. I think that the Bucs are going to take us serious. And yeah, in the NFL, some teams can go from worst to first. I think the Niners have a great chance to be right back like this year. I think they did the right thing with getting the quarterback of the future, but Trey Lance is a North Dakota State product. North Dakota State.
Just like Wentz.
Yeah, that's crazy too. I watched Trey Lance play one game, and it was against my former college, James Madison University, in the national championship.
Right? DiNucci went there too.
And DiNucci played there, and JMU lost back-to-back national championships to North Dakota State, where Trey Lance went. And when I saw him, I'm like, oh, this kid's a freak. This kid's an NFL player. Like, but he needs time to develop. He played one game last year, and he started as like a freshman. He needs more time to develop. So I think they have a good situation with the Niners with Garoppolo, and maybe they just start doing some type of, I don't know, 2-quarterback system at some point in the season.
Last year.
Yeah.
How do you feel, speaking of quarterbacks, how do you feel about Dak coming back? Are you nervous at all, especially since Martin isn't playing? Like, are you nervous for him? I mean, I'm a little nervous for him. I have no reason to be nervous because I don't know any medical stuff, or like I'm not like a doctor with the Cowboys, but I would be just like a little nervous for him. I mean, I think he just has to get that first hit out of the way.
I've been trying to like get a tweet out so I could get some more people in here, but I'm also trying to like be engaged and talk.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
But
should
I will
probably
answer the
tweet out
question as
too.
soon as I
You just
finally
reminded me to
get
send the
this
tweet
tweet
out.
off. All right,
You
let
just
me
reminded me to
see.
send the tweet out.
Pull
Also,
up.
while we were sending this tweet out, I just wanted to do a quick little promo. I just got membership up on my channel. If anyone wants like emojis and stuff, if you click the join button, you can see what it's about. But I hadn't done that. It was like available for a year, and I never did it. And then I just did it. So
Okay.
promo, self plug. Just little promo for the membership thing.
Hopefully you don't mind the like screenshot I randomly grabbed. It's a good picture.
No, it's totally fine. Wait,
I just said pull up. I'm live
I'm
with
on
She
my
Got
Twitter.
Sports and put the Twitter link out there.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
so now
retweet you.
back to Dak. And yep, that tweet is out, and hopefully some people pull up so they can hear what I got to say about Dak. Okay, so like, how do I feel about Dak? You asked me if I was nervous about Dak. I am nervous about everything tonight because there's just so much on the line. The Cowboys had a terrible season last year, and everybody's been waiting to get back to this. But I'm not worried about Dak's health. Before this random fluke ankle that he broke his ankle against the Giants, we owe the Giants for that.
I know that. I'm watching that. I almost like puked. That was brutal.
I think that was the same weekend that the Yankees got eliminated from the ALDS.
I think it was because it was like October.
And I was just like on my couch that whole weekend, like, hello, darkness, my old friend. I'm like this sucks. I'm like, I don't want to watch baseball. I don't want to watch football. I'm like, the Yankees are out. I'm not watching the rest of the postseason. I'm like, Dak just went down. Cowboys don't have a shot. But back to Dak.
That was brutal. Ew, my stomach hurt. I felt so bad for him.
Logan Ryan,
Logan Ryan, did you read the article? Logan Ryan did send him a handwritten note and some books.
Oh, but I still want payback. I still want him to get smacked. We will come find him when time comes. But
Dak, Logan Ryan's a great guy.
It was a fluke injury type of thing. Dak was like scrambling and his leg got rolled under because of the way Logan Ryan tackled him, whatever. But Dak didn't have any injury history prior to that.
Yeah. It wasn't like a muscle or something like that.
No, Dak was always available and he ran the ball. He took hits. He's durable. He's a solid guy. We never were worried about Dak's health before last year. So now when I hear people talking about Dak, like, is he going to be the same guy? When you heard about the shoulder in camp, that was the first like thing that tweaked Cowboys fans. Like, oh no, he's missed some time. Now, him not being able to run and whatever, like his shoulder, he hasn't thrown, and Dak will be fine. I'm not worried about them, protecting Dak or him getting hurt. What I'm worried about is reps. It's week 1. The whole world is watching. The NFL is back. It's kickoff Thursday night. It's a national holiday. The NFL wants their 7-time champion, greatest of all time player to go out there and collect his ring. And, they get all the ratings. And now you have Raymond James Stadium full capacity, the fans and all that. They don't care about Dak. What I care about is
America's team.
Right. It's America's team to laugh at. We're a joke. And we get laughed at more than people actually.
You're like the most non-optimistic Cowboys fan I think I've had.
Because I've been living this for 25 plus years. Like I've been doing this for so long. I just like stay even keeled. And that's why I tell people too, watch all sports and like pick different teams or whatever, because like your fandom can stay more even keeled when you just like you take in all of those games and you see all those different experiences. Like even with the Yankees right now, I'm like, the Yankees suck right now, but there's a small chance
that's been like this.
There's a small chance that roller coaster goes down right now and hits rock bottom, and then it goes back up, and then it hits another pace. And there's only a month and a half of the season left, so stay tuned for that. But back to the football, back to Dak. Not worried about Dak. Yeah, pinstripe strong, Joe's McFly. I'm not worried about Dak. I'm not worried about his health. I'm worried about the reps. He hasn't gotten live reps against a team like we're about to face tonight.
Like one of the best defenses in the league.
And a damn near all-star team when you look at the names on their defense, JPP, Barrett,
White.
Just look in the middle, right? You take Zach Martin out, and now we have to deal with Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh. Like, that's a nightmare. I'm not worried about him getting hurt. He's going to take the hits. He's going to get up. He's a tough guy. What I'm worried about is the reps with this offense going against a defense like that, and like, how will they look? And to me, this game has to go through Zeke. Like, it isn't even on Dak. It's like, if we can establish the run with Zeke, Zeke has a ton to prove this year after all the fumbles he had last year, having another down year after getting paid. You know, the last 2 seasons after he went to Cabo and got paid, he ain't been worth a $90 million contract. So he's got a lot to prove, and we got to run the ball through him. I'm worried about this offense because it's supposed to be this high-powered offense, but like, there's new pieces. This offensive line has not played. They talk about Dak not playing for 340 some days. Tyron Smith hasn't played either. Lyle Collins hasn't played either. Zach Martin is out with COVID. We got Connor Williams, Connor McGovern. It's Tyler Biadasz. Tyler Biadasz. Let's talk about Zach Martin and Travis Frederick. When the Cowboys were drafting offensive line, they went Tyron Smith, they went Travis Frederick, they went Zach Martin. And Cowboys fans were upset. They were like, why are we using our first-round draft picks on linemen every year? Well, you have to build from the trenches. You have to build your line. Travis Frederick had some type of disease where he had to retire early. He came out of Wisconsin. The Cowboys were looking for a replacement for him. They draft Tyler Biadasz last year out of Wisconsin. He's forced to play last year way more than he's supposed to. He's coming back for his second year as the starter right away. And the first game that he gets this season, he's got to put his hand in the dirt and look up and face Vita Vea and Ndamukong Suh, and that is hell for anybody in the NFL, second-year player or not. So I'm not worried about Dak. I'm worried about the entire offense. This is the first live reps. These are live bullets tonight. This game counts. There's going to be a lot of energy. The whole world is watching. How will the Cowboys offense look in Mike McCarthy year 2? I don't know. I'm not worried about Dak. Dak is going to throw. He's going to run. He's going to make plays. He's going to lead. He's going to be durable. But this offense has to run through Zeke. We have to establish some kind of run, and we have to be able to gel without our best offensive player and offensive lineman in Zach Martin. And that's really the worry for me. Not Dak. Dak is fine.
Everyone's saying, I like a realistic fan in you, how you're so realistic. Everyone's like, oh, look at this Cowboys fan. So, guys, I put Keith's socials in the description. So click the links because Keith literally pumps out so much content, like every single day. He does Talking Nets, which is a Nets podcast if you're a basketball fan. He's on Pinstripe Strong, which is a baseball podcast, Yankees podcast. And I feel like I'm forgetting something.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I do.
But you post like on Instagram and Twitter every day.
I do a bunch of things. It depends on how I feel. I got a lot more stuff coming, but like I moved, I got married. My life was just like a lot of things going on, and I haven't been able to get settled. Like even this studio I built, like I'm still adding things to it, but a lot coming. So yeah, if you guys are into sports, check me out. I'm just a wild sports fan. Like my wife.
Yeah, like I follow
all you talk about is
sports. I
even
knew him just because like I was like, oh, this is a cool dude, sports fan, social media. He's like very active and literally he's pumping out the content.
And don't get me wrong, right? Like you guys say I'm realistic. I'm realistic because I've gone through a lot of heartbreak. I don't get too high. I don't set my expectations up too high for me to come crashing down. If you have low expectations, you can only be surprised. You know, think about it. With the Cowboys, I'm in Jersey, right? I'm in New York, New Jersey. There are Cowboys fans, but this is not Cowboys country. This is Giants territory and Jets. I picked the Cowboys when I was 4 years old. I didn't even know where Dallas was.
How did that happen? I'm curious.
I told this story on WFAN. So, because I'm on WFAN, New York Sports Radio.
Yeah, also, guys, this guy's on, if you live in New York, the Fan 101.9.
Yeah.
The New York, New Jersey area. Keith was
CBS Radio,
this man has like a crazy year.
a trial run. They tried me out. And, some people wanted to talk NFL. And I'm like, I got to break it to y'all. Like, I can talk Giants, I can talk Jets, but what I really could talk is Cowboys. I'm a Cowboys fan. Boo, boo, get this guy off the radio.
Boo
But
this man.
I told him, I was like, when I was a kid, I grew up without my dad, so it wasn't like my dad passed down his fandom, and my dad's a Dolphins fan. I'm glad that didn't happen. I grew up watching TV and watching the TV this close. And on Sundays when the Cowboys came on, they were already the champions. They had Troy Aikman, they had Emmitt Smith, they had Michael Irvin, Deion Sanders. They had cool colors. They were America's team.
Yeah.
And in the 90s, in the late 90s, similar to the Yankees, the Cowboys and Yankees were part of like pop culture, Americana. Like they were on commercials and you would see them everywhere. So I picked the Cowboys young. And the thing about me, I just like stayed loyal. I stayed down, and I can't switch up because there's like a bunch of pictures of me as a kid with Cowboy stuff. And then even when I entered elementary school, middle school, high school, like my friends knew me as a Cowboys fan. I couldn't switch. And there were people trying to get me to switch. My brother was a Giants fan. When I was a kid, he put Giant stuff on me. Like, nah, get that out of here. So I've watched the Cowboys win one Super Bowl. And every other year, I hear Cowboys fans saying, we're going back to the Super Bowl. This team is built for the Super Bowl, whether it was the Tony Romo era or even in Dak's era, we had some teams that they thought could go to the Super Bowl, and they just fail or they collapse. And so I just am realistic about my team instead of being a blind Cowboys fan that just thinks like, yeah, we've got 5 Super Bowls. We're the most valued franchise. We're the best. No, we're not. Like all that, we the boys, like we're not, bros. Like we're not, bros. Like the reality is we're not. We're not. And like there are a lot. That's why someone said earlier about like the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl. I'm like, we're not winning the Super Bowl, not this year. There's too many good teams that are already locked in. And in football, more than any other sport, it's an 11-man sport. And when that ball is snapped, it takes all 11 men to do their job at the same time. There's a lot to be said about playing together like the Bucs have played together now, won a Super Bowl together. They're going to come out tonight rolling. The Cowboys are going to come out tonight with guys that are looking next to them and they're like, this is my first snap with this guy. There's a lot to be said about teams like the Chiefs, the Packers. That it's like, yo, they've been rolling. They know what to do. They get out there. They don't need too much practice. They don't need too much reps. They don't need to figure it out for the first 3 weeks of the season. They're coming in ready to rock. So we'll see. This Cowboys team has some young players. There's some new coaches. There's some new energy, some new parts, a completely different defense. We drafted all defensive players. All of those defensive players did make the roster. You will see some of them tonight, led by Micah Parsons. But what you can't expect them to be world beaters right away. You can't expect them to deal with Tom Brady. Tom Brady is a literal GOAT. Tom Brady might pick this defense apart tonight with ease, and they might sit him down and let Blaine Gabbert come in the fourth quarter. I don't know. Is Blaine Gabbert the backup still?
Or is it Trask? I forget.
It might not be Blaine Gabbert, but I don't know. I'm not a Bucs fan. But yeah, that's why I'm realistic. I watched the Cowboys. I watched the Cowboys not last year, but the year before, have the division and then lose the division to the Eagles the last week of the season. And it was like, I think the score was like 9-7 or so. I was like, I'm so done with this team. I'm so done with this. Like, I don't have the time. It's too much time and money and effort buying jerseys and going to games and like getting all fired up for Sunday just to come crashing down. That too. I want to remind y'all, we're all excited for football. We can't wait to see our fantasy teams. But there's also that Sunday sadness. It's going to hit some of y'all this Sunday when your team's getting smoked and you're not having as much fun. And then you check your fantasy team and your fantasy team's down by 30 and projected to lose by 20.
Ugh. That's my least favorite part of just, my week being ruined if the Giants lose. My week just being totally ruined. Waking up in a sad mood on Monday. It's part of it.
It's part of the fandom, and it's a part of why, like, okay, so when you see a team like, the Chiefs or even like, let's say the Browns, those Browns fans were miserable for years, and now they got a good team, and now they're hoping that their team is competitive, and they won a playoff game last year. You go through that, and you stay loyal, and you stay down, and it's going to come back around. It's going to come back around for me. It's going to come back around for the Cowboys. The Cowboys will win 2 playoff games before I die.
No.
Yeah, I mean, like, 2 consecutive playoff games. Like they'll get to an NFC championship before I die. I hope.
Oh God. See, I was thinking about that the other day. Well, specifically with the Knicks, I was thinking about that. I was like, think about all the people who haven't seen the Knicks win a championship and they're like so old now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what? Like, I'm gonna be like old. Like, I might be really old. Like, and that kind of scares me.
You spent your whole life rooting for this team, begging this team to figure it out, hoping that this team figures it out, and then it just doesn't happen. I have friends in Chicago, right, that are Cubs fans. And
oh wow,
that's passed down. Like, and when the Cubs won the World Series, I saw multiple people like, this is for grandma, this is for pop, because like they were Cubs fans and never saw the Cubs be this good.
That's honest. That's such a scary thought, honestly. Like,
it's like your granddad was the biggest Cubs fan, and he passed it on to your dad and to you, took you to your first game, and then Grandpa passes in his 90s. And he lived 90 years in Chicago and never saw them get it done. And then like 2 years after he passes, they win it. And like it's a crazy thing.
That's a scary
Americans
scary
and their sports.
That's a scary thought. Big Play Slay wants to convert you to an Eagles fan.
Impossible, bro. Impossible, bro. I went to the draft when Philly hosted the draft. I went to the draft in a Dez Bryant jersey. I don't go to the link. I just know better than that. But I went to the draft and got harassed for like 4 or 5 hours by Eagles fans. They're like, "How was the flight? How was the flight?" I'm like, "I drove here, bro." They're like, "Exactly. Take that shit off." I'm like, "Okay, dude." Like, they're like, "What part of Texas you from? You actually from Dallas?" And I'm like, "No, I'm from Arlington." They're like, "Okay, well, Cowboys suck." And I'm like, "I'm not from Arlington, dude. I'm from Monmouth County, New Jersey. I drove here because you guys are hosting the draft. Let me just like get my seat in peace and watch us draft Taco Charlton."
Taco Charlton. What team is Taco on now? I don't remember.
I don't know if he's even in the league. I think the Dolphins took him after he was with the Cowboys, and then I'm pretty sure the Dolphins released him. Dude was a bust. And that year, I think we could have taken TJ Watt in that same draft, and we took Taco Charlton, or maybe he went a couple picks before, but I just remember being upset. Like,
the Sports Blitz says he thinks he's with the Chiefs now.
He's with the Chiefs? Is he playing though? Okay, maybe Chiefs, yes. I do remember the Chiefs picking him up, because remember the Chiefs picked up like they were just looking for edge rushers. They were looking for help. They picked up like Terrell Suggs. They picked up they were just taking anybody that could rush the passer off the edge that was available.
Big Play Slay thinks he got cut by the Raiders.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be around. Like he couldn't get it done in Dallas. He couldn't get it done in Miami. After a while, like there's so many freaks in the NFL, and some of these guys that like, especially DN, those are usually like the biggest freaks on the field. There's so many of them coming in every year, and if you can't do it, you can't do it.
Yeah. I want to know what's your baseline, or like, so what's your like floor? Why do I call it baseline? What's your floor Dallas record, and what's your ceiling Dallas record? Also, I'm curious to know how you think the NFC East is going to play out.
I gotta pull up.
I did mine, but I want people to hear yours.
When I originally looked up the schedule,
not biased. Like,
no, I'm not biased. Another reason why I'm not biased, I think, is because I played football and I'm an NFL fan. Like I can watch any NFL game. I think most people that are NFL fans can watch any NFL game, but like I can't, like some NBA games don't hold my attention for too long. Like I'm not about to watch the Pistons play the Rockets for too long. Maybe
you're not gonna watch the Cavaliers play the Pistons?
Like no, like I have League Pass, and I'll skip a game that doesn't have like a star in it. And even baseball, like I do not want to watch the Diamondbacks play the Pirates. But in NFL, I can watch the 2 worst NFL teams play. So looking at the Cowboys schedule, my floor for them, I don't know, because there's just enough teams that can beat us. My floor for them, I need the Cowboys. I hate to say 8, but I need them to win 8 games.
Okay, I think that's a fair floor.
I hate to say 8 because they had so many years of going 8-8 and just being a 500 team.
Well,
but now,
can't do that anymore. So.
Right now, if they win 8 games and lose 9, they'll hit my floor but have a losing record. but there's teams. I think there's just teams that are better teams than us right away. So like I think we could start off 0-2. I hate to say that, but we're on the road twice. We have the Bucs tonight. Everybody in the world thinks they're going to win. Then we go to LA to their beautiful place that we opened up against the Rams and lost. We play the Chargers. I expect Justin Herbert to take a step. He was already ridiculous at times last year, but I think he takes another
I
step.
am very much on the Justin Herbert hype train this year.
I just think he's got it up here. And then when you look at the kid, obviously he's got the physical tools. He dreamed of being the Chargers quarterback. He went to Oregon, could have came out, went back a year to get better. Like I
came out and went to the Giants, but the Eli Manning curse. It's the revenge for Eli not going to the Chargers.
And you know what? If the Giants would have drafted him, he might have tried to fight that because he was a Chargers fan.
He's a West Coast guy for sure. He's got the West Coast flow.
He's got those vibes. He should stay a Charger forever, and I think he's going to lead them to some wins this year, especially with Austin Eckler back. But then we play the Eagles. So for the Eagles fans in the chat, you guys have to come you have to come to Dallas for the opener. You have to come to Dallas for the opener. It's a night game. I think it might be Sunday Night Football. And I think the Cowboys will beat the Eagles in that first one, the home opener. Then we play the Panthers. We should be able to beat the Panthers. But then we host the Giants. I don't know. There's some unfinished business there. We swept the Giants for like 3 years. We swept the Giants for like 3 years. But I just think this Giants team, like, this is like, I tell my friends that are Giants fans, I'm like, those years when you guys had like Odell Beckham or whatever, like they were cool, but you weren't like competitive. You weren't winning. Like they were like, it was exciting to watch.
Like 6 wins.
It was exciting to watch him in 2014 and 2015, whatever. Like that's cool. But like really like what's cooler? What's cooler is going and having a long season and like competing and feeling like you can win it, especially for Giants fans. You guys got a Super Bowl in 2007, 2011. Like those are recent. Like you were trying to get back. So I think the Giants could come into Jerry World. It'll be our 3rd home game in a row. If we're chilling too much, the Giants could come in and steal that game for us. That'll be our 3rd loss.
I see, because I predicted the Giants to lose that game.
I mean, I don't want to predict the Cowboys to lose that game, but I'm looking at this team, right? I think the Giants, like by week 5, Saquon Barkley probably is fully up and going. Like by week 5, you're going to know whether Saquon can take all the snaps or whether Booker's got to rotate with him or whatever. He's a beast. We've seen him in Jerry World. We know what he does when he comes to Dallas. I am scared to death of Kenny Galladay.
My gosh. Sorry. I just have to interrupt. The Sports Blitz said apparently Gus Edwards and Marcus Peters both tore their ACLs today.
Wow. So now everybody's going to go run to the waiver wire. I don't even
Le'Veon
Bell. Like, I don't even know who their 4th running back is now.
Why? Both toward their ACLs. What?
Bad. That's so bad. Now the Ravens, when you think about the Ravens, they need both of those guys.
Wait, you go first.
Yeah, they need both of those guys. They obviously need Edwards as their lead back after losing Dobbins. Signing Bell, but they need Peters. God. Peters the best corner on their team. They need Peters with that defense. He's always good for a couple picks every year, and he's also just a swag, bravado guy on that defense. You lose those 2 guys days before the season, that's a hell of a gut punch. And I just read something about how well Lamar Jackson plays in week 1. This is going to be tough for them. So that's
the tweet
crazy.
Says from Rappaport, the tweet says the Ravens cut short practice today after cornerback Marcus Peters and running back Gus Edwards sustained potentially significant knee injuries on back-to-back plays.
Wow, that's like a weird omen.
For me and Mike Garofalo, the team is having tests done on both players. So I guess the test didn't officially come back yet. But what the heck?
Yeah,
back-to-back plays? What?
It's football. It's a rough ass game. I tell people that all the time. I've seen people mess up their knees. I've seen people get really hurt on the football field. And it's one of those things you don't think about it when you put the helmet on and you start doing things. And then when it happens, it's like, whoa, hold on. Like these guys' careers are on the line. Now they have to rehab for a year and hope that they're good for week 1 next year.
ACL's a long, like I think about like someone I know, just a random like that sounds so disrespectful. Just like a random person, but like a normal civilian, not a football player. One of my mom's friends like tore her ACL, and I'm like, damn, that's even if you're just a normal person who's not playing sports, like that's a long recovery.
Yeah, you
You
can't
got to go to
walk
physical
right for a
therapy. Like you
while.
can't
You have
walk
to
for a
rehab to
while.
get back to just even walking, and it's painful. It's like your knee. No, you're like,
Peace out, Sports Blitz. Have fun in your meeting. Thank you for that, for the news. He was the one who put that in the chat.
yeah, that's
That's
tough. But
rough.
hey, there's some people that right now they're looking at their fantasy team and they're like, damn it, I was banking on Gus Edwards.
I think I drafted Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards' stock shot up after Dobbins went down. Why is Kyle Pitts trending? I hope that's not bad news. I just
Wait, now I want to check Twitter. I can't believe back-to-back plays is the most bizarre. Yeah, Pitts, I see is Ravens fear that Gus Edwards has suffered a season-ending torn ACL, according to Schefter. Why is that happening like that?
I mean,
3 running backs go down.
I'd have to see them to see like how they did it. But I was reading something recently about like, the ACL. You can mess up your ACL by a bunch of like. Sometimes there's non-contact. Like Garoppolo, he messed up his ACL with a non-contact injury. I think his like ankle gave out on him. It's one of those freak things. It's one of those injuries that you don't know when it's going to happen. You don't always know why it's going to happen, but it happens a lot. And there's like no way to like actually prevent it. Like if they had a way to prevent it, they would have come up with it already. If they had a way to stop it or slow it down, they would have come up with it already. It's just one of those things when you're going as hard as these guys go and you have so much muscle and so much speed, and then you're stopping and you're making hard cuts. I don't know. I hate to hear that as we're going into the NFL season tonight.
And the ACL, I feel like is so small. Like, how does it just? I guess because it's on a very important part of your body.
Yeah, it's a very like your knee is in the middle of your leg. It's like it's like the main like joint like in your base. I don't know. It sucks, but
they lost 3 running backs.
Yeah, they're the Ravens.
And Marcus Peters, like what the? Now I went back on Twitter after, and I've seen like what other people are saying on my timeline, and people are saying they think it's what's it called, an ACL too for Peters.
Did they also sign?
It's not official. Did they also sign who?
Trenton Cannon.
Did they?
I saw they were working out Cannon and Bell. I guess they signed them both because I'm looking at their depth chart and they're both there. Gus Edwards is the lead back, followed by Tyson Williams, who I think is either a rookie or a second-year player. No, he's a rookie. Yeah, he's a rookie out of BYU. So now Tyson Williams becomes the starting running back as a rookie, and he's backed up by Trenton Cannon, who I think came from. He was with the Jets. Wasn't he with the Jets? Yes, he was. The Trenton Cannon was drafted by the Jets, but he was with the Carolina Panthers. You know how they got this whole Jets Panthers pipeline.
Oh, the Temple. Oh wait, no, Temple was Robbie Anderson in Matt Rule. I was like, Temple.
Yeah, that's there too. That's definitely there too. So yeah, now they got Trenton. So it's Tyson Williams, Trenton Cannon, and Le'Veon Bell.
That's such a hit to that team, though. Marcus Peters especially.
Yeah,
like that's secondary. I mean, they still have Marlon Humphrey, but that's huge if that's an ACL.
Yeah, if they don't have Marcus Peters, think about the receivers.
Bateman is also hurt, but it's not season ending.
It's part of it. It's part of the game. It's part of the NFL. It's a rough ass game. Now these guys got to figure out how to cover Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr. They got to figure out Claypool, Juju. There's good receivers in that division. Obviously, Boyd, Chase, Higgins in Cincinnati. Like a couple injuries like that can literally change the outlook for a team, the morale of a team. Like
the season hasn't even started for them. Like that's brutal.
Like now these guys have to next man up. Boom. Next man up. These guys got to get ready to be the starters on Sunday, and then the rest of the starters got to be ready to play without their starting running back, starting corner. Like that's crazy. Sorry, Ravens fans in the chat. If there's anybody in here that reps Baltimore, it's not going to be a good time. I think it sucks, But I think this is a year that we see like Lamar Jackson just like not be able to get off in the same way he has in the past. I think this is a year we see him maybe, kind of level out. Like he'll have his games where he rips off big runs or whatever. But and then also, is he vaccinated? I don't know if he's vaccinated. I know they asked him and he said something about wanting to like do some more research. And if that's the case, and you lose him to, COVID stuff, Ravens might be doormats. Do we play them?
I don't think, because we played that division last year, right?
No, yeah, we don't play them. I wish.
No one says if Dak can get the ball out early, the offense can keep it relatively close.
Yeah, so I mean, I think right away, you lose Zach Martin, and if we're running the ball, like we're running the ball behind Zach Martin because he's unstoppable. Like he's gonna at least make the block to open up a hole for Zeke. So that game plan has changed, and I think now it's gonna be more about spreading them out, having Dak in the shotgun. We're probably gonna screen them, but they don't blitz that much. They don't have to blitz with that defensive line. So I don't know. I really don't know what to expect. Obviously, everyone knows about our receiving core, but like,
I mean, that's where I think the Cowboys like have a chance tonight. Is you can't double Amari because then you leave CD one-on-one, and then you can't stack the box because you have those wide receivers. So like, I think it's going to be really interesting to watch Cooper and CD Lamb this year because I feel like CD Lamb could be better than Amari.
I think CD Lamb with Dak, because we watched him last year with Ben DiNucci, Garrett Gilbert, and Andy Dalton throwing him the ball. With Dak this year, he has a chance to be a superstar. They're obviously going to spread the ball around, so he's not going to get that many touches. But when I say superstar, like we saw him make superstar plays in camp this year. We saw him make ridiculous catches last year.
Like this and like spun around.
He's a freak. He's fast. He runs good routes. He's only in his second year. He's learning. I think he's going to take another step this year, and they're going to get him the ball, and he might become the first option over Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, like I always stay away from Amari Cooper in fantasy because there are some games where they will put their best corner on Amari Cooper.
Like Bradbury really locked down Amari,
and he'll have a quiet game, and it's like, damn, or if they get a matchup where Amari Cooper is against a rookie corner or a less experienced corner, it's barbecue chicken. Like all day, he's going to cook him up. Like, it depends. Now tonight, I don't know why I can't think of who the Bucs corners are. How do I know the Bucs corners? I definitely am going to read their names and be like, I definitely know who.
I think Ross Cockrell, he's still on the Bucs, but he used to be on the Giants. But I think he plays safety, or no, is he a corner?
So their safeties are Whitehead and Winfield. At corner, they have Carlton Davis and Sean Murphy Bunting. Yes.
Oh yeah, Sean Murphy Bunting.
Yeah.
Where'd he go? Washington?
Sean Murphy Bunting came out of Central Michigan.
Why do I think he went to Washington?
I guess it's kind of out there, but like those corners don't scare me. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know. I got the Cowboys. I got the Cowboys winning 8 to 9 games this year. If we steal a game, maybe 10, win the division and go in. I don't think we're gonna really shock anybody this year because this is gonna be a building year for us. New defense, new defensive coordinator, and hopefully guys stay healthy. Like I said, last year Tyron Smith didn't play; he was hurt. La'el Collins has had a hip injury. He's had a neck stinger. He's supposed to play tonight, but hopefully he can go. Zach Martin, we all know, is out. We heard about that 4 days ago. Tyler Biadasz, second-year player out of Wisconsin. Hopefully he's ready to go. Connor Williams, I'm not too worried about. But it's going to be a hell of a game. I think if the Cowboys can keep it close in the first quarter, we got a game. If Tom Brady and the Bucs come out firing, running their offense, having their way, and they're able to go up 7, 10, whatever it is, then I don't think we're going to be able to hang with them. This defense of the Dallas Cowboys is brand new defensive coordinator, brand new players. I think we're only returning. Let me see how many starters we're returning.
People are acting like it's going to be a blowout tonight, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be a blowout. I think it will be relatively close throughout the first half. I mean, Dak is the one who's going to keep them in this game. This offense is what's going to keep them in this game. But I don't think it's going to be a blowout. People are acting like
I don't think it's going to be a
do
blowout
nothing.
either. I also don't like that 8.5-point spread. That means you think they're going to win by 3 field goals or a field goal and a touchdown. I don't know if they're going to cover that. I expect there to be some kicks. It's week 1. It's still preseason. Really, it is. This is actually the first preseason game for both these teams because the starters like Dak, Zeke, they didn't play in any of the preseason games for the Cowboys. DeMarcus Lawrence, they didn't play in any of those games. And the reason why we saw this across the NFL is because last year without preseason, they went ahead and played a full season and teams learned, okay, maybe we don't need y'all to play in the preseason for you to be able to play 16 games. So if you're a baller, if you're a stud, if you're a Pro Bowler, if you're a guy that has been playing in the league for X amount of years, you don't need to play in the preseason, and you're going to just get thrust into the game and hope that you can play at game speed and do what you've done in the past. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it tonight. I think the trenches is where you guys got to watch this game. You got to watch the hand fighting, the hand checking, the mashing between the Cowboys offensive line, the Bucks defensive line. The Bucks offensive line, the Cowboys defensive line. There's superstars on both sides. And that's where the game's going to be won or lost. Yes, there's also superstars in, these 2 receiver cores, right? They talk about, our receiver core and the Bucks receiver core being 2 of the best in the league. I think I saw Godwin was out. Is Godwin going to play tonight?
Is he out? Wait, let me look that up.
Maybe he wasn't out. Maybe he was listed as questionable. I need to go back and check that because I kind of got excited. I'm like, well, if they're down, because we're down Zach Martin, I'm like, they need to be down a guy. Spread has moved to 9. I might have to bet on this. I usually don't bet. But if I watched the spread go from 7 to 9 in the last week, I don't know, it's like the whole world is putting money on the Bucks. I got to be one of those guys that put money on the Cowboys.
I mean, I don't like I said, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I feel like the Bucks are going to win, but listen, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think Dak is going to play pretty well in his first game back.
I think so too. And what people forget about Dak, go back and look at his numbers
before
leading up to that Giants game.
Nuts.
He was going crazy. Like, and that's why he was high on the fantasy draft boards this year. And that's why people are high on him, period, because they just realize, like, now this is Dak's 5th season. Like, he is a guy that's been around long enough. Like, he's not new. Like, he knows his offense. He knows the defenses. He knows who he's playing against. He knows what to do with the ball. He doesn't make stupid mistakes. Like, and he's going to sling it. And he's got receivers that are going to get open and they're going to take chances. So I hope we see that tonight, right? Everybody wants it to be a high-powered, high-scoring game.
Yeah,
Tom Brady versus Dak. Leonard Fournette and Rojo versus Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. Like, good. I hope it's a lot of points, but watch, that first quarter is going to be telling. And these games are always weird. If you guys remember a couple years back when the Bears and the Packers opened the season in Soldier Field, it was like a really low-scoring, shitty game. Like, people were turning the game off. That can potentially happen, but I feel like if that only happens if both teams stalemate in the first quarter. If the Bucks go on and score in the first quarter, and the Cowboys have to try and keep pace with them, it's going to become a shootout. And you've got Tom Brady slinging the ball to his receiver core and Dak slinging the ball to his receiver core. It should be fun. It should be fireworks. Should be some points for your fantasy teams, and it should just give you that good feeling going into the weekend. Like football is actually back.
That's what I'm so excited for. I'm like, let's
and we get to do this now every week. Thursday night
3
football,
days a week.
Sunday, Monday. Set your lineups, make your parlays, and put your picks in. It's crazy how much gambling has become a part of the NFL and football. It used to be this hard stance. I'm from Jersey. They tried to legalize gambling when I was younger, and it was
but
always
it's
this
legal
fight.
Now, right?
Yeah, now it's completely legal. You can just, I could put in a bet. I literally might put in a bet just $100 on the Cowboys to cover that 9 points, because it's 9 points now. That's the largest spread in week 1. They're expecting the Buccaneers in front of their fans to blow us out. And I start to have a little doubt in week 1, because like I said, this is week 1 for everybody. Oh, now I'll give my biased Cowboys fan take, since we're coming up on an hour.
Yeah, I want to hear the bias take. I think we need the bias take.
Okay, so now I'm taking off my rational Cowboys fan hat and I'm putting on my delusional Cowboys fan hat. And here we go.
Spew the hot takes.
How about them Cowboys? Do you guys understand Dak is back? Do you know what's about to happen to the Buccaneers tonight? The most explosive offense the Cowboys have seen in years. CeeDee Lamb in his second year, he's a freak. One-handed grabs, speed. Remember what he did at Oklahoma? He's going to look more like that now. You already seen the videos of Amari Cooper, shake and bake, best route runner in the game. He says he thinks he's the best wide receiver in the game. He's out to prove it. He will. Michael Gallup, underrated beast, just had his son. Miles Gallup is born. He's going to go out there with dad strength. He's going to go out there ready to rock. Watch out for the deep ball with him. But this offense is going to run through the middle, through our $90 million man, Ezekiel Elliott. Feed Zeke. Feed him. Even when it's not working, keep feeding them because the Cowboys will have to establish the run. Against this defense, against this front, you have to establish the run. And you know who's there to establish the run that people don't talk about enough? TP playmaker, Tony Pollard, number 20. Look out for number 20. He's going to be in screens. There's going to be little gadget plays. Next thing you know, you think it's Ezekiel Elliott running the ball, and it's number 20, Tony Pollard. He's shifty. Watch out for him tonight. Our offensive line will be fine. There's other Pro Bowlers on our offensive line. Lyle Collins went to a Pro Bowl. Tyron Smith went to a few Pro Bowls. We're missing Zach Martin, but those two tackles at right and left tackle will anchor us. They'll be just fine. Don't worry about the offensive line. Connor McGovern, it's okay. And Ndamukong Suh is washed. He's not the same freak that he used to be. And if he does anything crazy, like tries to step on Dak, we're going to get him right up out of there. Let's talk defense, though. This Dallas defense, that's the biggest question mark. But you can't get much worse than the worst ever. That was the worst Dallas defense of all time last year. Like, I'm not making that up. They gave up the most points of any Dallas defense. I think at one point they were averaging like 30 points given up a game. So the only way to go is up from there, baby. We're not giving up 30 points tonight. This Dallas defense, led by Dan Quinn, you guys all remember him, that Super Bowl collapse against Tom Brady, who we're playing tonight. He wants revenge. He knows Tom Brady. He's lost plenty nights over Tom Brady. He's going to stop Tom Brady tonight. We have Keanu Neal, who is a converted DB into middle linebacker. Then we also have Micah Parsons, number 1 overall pick from Penn State. We are Penn State. He's going to put on. You already know about Leighton Vander Esch. Woo! You already know about Clear Eye View, Jalen. We've got a good linebacker core. Our DBs, wish we drafted more DBs, but last year we did draft Trayvon Diggs. You saw his son. His son was the one wearing this jersey. He said, "You're Patrick. No, you're Dak Prescott."
Patrick Mahomes?
Good to see you. Good to see you, Patrick Mahomes. Well, it's not Patrick Mahomes' time tonight. It's Dak's time tonight. And on the last Hard Knocks, Dak said, I watched film of the Super Bowl when they played the Chiefs, and I went back and watched the regular season game when they played the Chiefs, and they did completely different shit. So Dak is already keyed in. He already knows Todd Bowles and that defense. They're going to kind of feel it out and see what they have to do. Do we have to heat these guys up or not? Are we playing zone against these guys? Are we manning up against these receivers or what? And I know Dak is prepared for that. Tom Brady is washed. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. You've been waiting for this your entire lives. This guy's 44, bro. We're going to put him on the ground. DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory. We're going to put him in the dirt. And when his old ass goes to get up, he's going to realize that he doesn't have to terrorize the NFL anymore. He's got 7 rings like Ariana Grande, and he doesn't need 8. And tonight, it's about Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. And we will find a way to shock the world and not win, but cover. We'll cover. We're not going to beat them. We're going to cover them. We're going to.
I'll clip this for after. And if they do win, that will look like you're the smartest man in the world.
Like he knew. He told us, but not. I'm not crazy. It's just too much, man. It's too much. In Tampa, like even going to Florida, like the team flew out to Florida yesterday. It's a different world. Everybody out there is going to be going crazy. They're celebrating their Super Bowl. NFL kickoff. It's a lot to come in there as I will say this is a pretty new team. It's a lot to come in there as like a pretty new team, definitely a completely new defense, and unseat the champs,
Yeah.
especially when, they're favored 9 points against you. But I'm just looking for a good football game, some touchdowns,
Me too.
some action, some excitement. And there's 17 weeks. So if we start off 0-1, we're going to have some teams join us on Sunday, and then it's a long road to go after that. But how about them Cowboys? It's good to be back. It's good to have Dak back. It's good to be pretty much at full strength, except for Zach Martin. And I'm very excited to see what Dan Quinn's new defense looks like. Mike Nolan sucked. So perfect. Of course, they line up my team to face Tom Brady and the Super Bowl champs. Like, why couldn't they play the Saints or like someone in their division or something? Like, why you got to put us on this spot to be embarrassed? That's why you said America's team. I'm like, no, we're America's team to laugh at. Go back and look at our record in these like nationally televised games. We get smoked and get laughed at, and I get a bunch of text messages from people. And I usually like tuck my jerseys and I just wear Yankee stuff for a little while.
I won't make fun of people for losing because I've been there many times recently. So I'll just
it's part of it.
I feel we can cry together.
It's part of it.
We can feel bad for ourselves together.
Until the Giants and Cowboys play. Maybe you have me back for
week
for
4. Sure.
Week 5.
Big play Slay with one more push for you, Keith. # become an Eagles fan, Keith.
I can't do it, bro. So here's like I'm from Monmouth County, and as soon as you start getting into the next county south, Ocean County, people start really repping Philadelphia teams, and I never understood that. I never understood it.
Like
and
South
I get
Jersey?
it. Yeah, like South Jersey wants to be Philly. Like they want to be part of Pennsylvania so bad. And I get it because there's just a bridge and you're at their stadium. It's closer than the New York teams, but I'm like, I could never be an Eagles fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm stuck like this, guys. I'm stuck in this Cowboys jersey. Like, you'll never see me rep another team. Trust me, people even pitched it to me a couple years ago. Like, hey, man, you're doing all this stuff with the Yankees. Like, you should think about repping the Giants. And I was like, hell no. I'd rather not do anything.
You said, we the boys.
Nah, we're not. But I can't switch up. Loyalty. Like, I can't switch up.
Yeah,
like,
you have to respect that.
My family, friends, people that know me would be like, are you wearing an Eagles jacket? And like, hell no. I got too much Cowboys history in me to switch up now. And y'all shouldn't switch either. Don't ever switch a team up. It's such a whack move. I've seen people do it. It takes you years to recover from that. Don't ever switch a team up.
Yeah, exactly. If you switch teams, that's just...
It's like, are you really, like, you can't, like, I can't look at you and take you seriously knowing that you repped one team. Like, my aunt used to switch up teams with, like, the guy she was dating or one of her kids' teams. She's wearing this team now. I'm like, you're not a fan. You're not like us. You can't have the conversations like Lauren and I are having. If I saw you in a Steelers shirt, an Eagles shirt, a Giants shirt, all within the last like 5 years, you rep 3 different teams. I can't talk to y'all because I've always been one way. And even when I see people say, like, even with baseball, like I don't think people get how regional baseball is and how the fandom is. It's like, we're Yankee fans. We don't care about the Reds. We don't care about the Brewers. Like, we care about the New York Yankees and the guys on this team. And we only care about other teams when we're playing against them in a series. And then after they leave, we don't care about them. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys, DC4L. I saw that.
Yeah. So I feel like that's a good way to end things off here. It's been an hour. I put all of Keith's stuff in the description. His links are in the description. Keith, plug your stuff though. Like, tell everyone what you're doing. Plug all your stuff.
So if you want to hear me talk more Cowboys stuff, I don't know how much of that I'm going to do this year, but follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. When the Cowboys win, I'll definitely be talking about the Cowboys. My name is Keith McPherson, and years ago, I just realized I should just go with my government name if I wanted to be in broadcasting, in sports. There are some guys with nicknames that they make it, but I figured my government name was good to go. So just look up KeithMcPherson. That's me. Really, what you should look up, though, is my Yankee stuff. I've been doing the Yankee stuff for 7 years since I was in the MLB fan cave in 2014, creating content, going to games, going to away games, doing vlogs, doing podcasts. The podcast I'm on is Pinstripe Strong. It's at Pinstripe Strong. Some of you might know of Joe's McFly, Chris McFly. Those are my two co-hosts.
Chris
From the
and I have the
Bronx.
same fantasy baseball team.
Yeah.
Year, but I haven't talked to him in a while. Tell him hi.
He loves fantasy baseball. He's actually, I think, in the lead in the John Boy Media fantasy baseball. I can't keep up with it. It's literally you have to be on it every day. It's not like football. Like you need to know who's starting, who's getting a rest day in baseball.
Yeah, I would always tell him when we were drafting, like you
got it. But you handle it.
Fantasy baseball, I can't keep up with.
So yeah, I do a Yankees podcast. We'll actually be on tonight after the Yankee game. Hopefully
YouTube, right?
Yeah, hopefully the Yankees don't get swept. If you guys are on YouTube, search Pinstripe Strong on YouTube. The three of us will be on after the Yankees win or lose tonight and end this series. We record after every series. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. It's also Pinstripe Strong. Basketball fans, if we have any NBA fans here,
There definitely are.
Specifically the Brooklyn Nets, the best team in the NBA, the eventual champions after this next NBA season. You can clip that, write it down, calling it. Would have happened last year. KD's foot was on the line. I was at Game 7. But Talking Nets. Talking Nets is another John Boy Media podcast like Pinstripe Strong. You probably heard of Talking Yanks.
George is a Nets fan.
Nets here. Yes, so you got to rock with us. If you've heard of Talking Yanks, Talking Baseball, Talking Giants, Talking Nets is the next of the Talking family, the Talking brands. And we just talk about the Brooklyn Nets, the NBA, what's going on with our team, what's going on at the Barclays Center, what's going on in the NBA world. Follow us on Twitter. We've got almost 14,000 followers on Twitter, but we're suspended right now, so you can't follow us on Twitter. But we'll be back.
I put the YouTube link in the description.
Yeah, follow us on YouTube. That's where we actually got to build. I think we only have like 750 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm gonna go live on there actually in an hour to do Talking Nets with Hudson. If you guys are sticking around in an hour,
check that out.
Search Talking Nets on YouTube. And follow us on Instagram there. And that's pretty much it. Follow John Boy Media. I'm sure you guys have heard of John Boy, and you might already be following John Boy Media, but they're saying we're next up. They're saying we're the next ones in sports media to kind of make noise out here and supplant ourselves as like the young guys, the young fans, the young voices that people want to listen to in the sports world. So that's it. That's all I got. Appreciate y'all for watching and talking in the chat. And of course, appreciate Lauren for having me on and bringing me in. I'm a fan. I've been subscribed for a while. And months ago, I was like, hey, if you need a guy to pop in and talk NFL, talk Cowboys, I got you. So hopefully we can do this again.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was going to say, I hope you come back. This was so much fun. I appreciate Keith coming on here. And yeah, guys, good luck to your Cowboys tonight, Keith. I just said that as a Giants fan.
Where's my?
Because I am such a cordial. I'm such a what's the word? I'm like I'm a nice person, I guess. I'm cordial. I don't know the word.
You're nicer than some Giants fans that I've run into. Like,
oh yes, I'm obviously nicer than a lot of people who are Giants fans. I don't talk smack.
Like I've been in bars where complete strangers that are Giants fans just want to start for no reason. I'm like, bro, I'm over here yelling at the TV. I'm not yelling at you.
Yeah, I don't talk smack to anyone. Like I don't.
Why are you a Cowboys fan, loser? I'm like, bro, you're doing too much. Like, I could take this Cowboys jersey off and we could see what's up.
Yeah, like I feel like I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, what type of person? What person would be easier for like someone to get along with? Like let's say I'm a Giants fan, but like someone's an Eagles fan. Like, would I get along with them easier than someone than not? Wait, let me rephrase.
No, I know what you mean.
Like, if they're an Eagles fan or if they hate football, like who do you get along with better? Someone who's a fan of a rival team or someone who just like despises football?
I don't understand.
Someone of a rival.
I don't understand people that hate football. I get people that say they hate basketball. Usually, there's like a racist tone there. I get people that say they hate baseball. Usually, it's just like it's a mental thing. Like they don't understand the game. They think it's slow. But when people don't watch NFL, I'm like, do you understand the NFL owns a day of the week?
Yeah.
Like everyone that I know for the most part on Sunday, their day is compromised. Like I don't have to ask what they're doing. Like I know where like my homies are going to be this Sunday. They're either going to be on their couch watching Red Zone. Yes, Red Zone is back. They're gonna either be watching Red Zone Sunday or they're gonna be at the bar. If you are a person that like claims to not like NFL or not watch football, I don't understand you, and I don't even care to talk to you about it. Eagles fans, you guys got your one little Super Bowl that I thought was never gonna happen. I have some friends that are Eagles fans, and we usually make little friendly bets. Like I can get along with the Eagles fans.
Yeah, I feel like I'm like Abe, obviously. Like I'm not someone who's not gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna talk to you because you're a fan of a rival team. Like I'll talk to you. I'm not like one of those people who's like, I can't talk to you. Boo you.
No,
like,
I'm not like that. I think
yeah, like that's
those
so,
are personality
like,
traits
right?
too. When you run into those people that are just like immediate, like, you know, I get it a lot. Like with the Yankees, people be like, oh, so I heard you're a big Yankee fan. And I'm like, okay, choose your words wisely. Like if this is how we're starting off, like, are you trying to get something like out of me?
Grow up over that stuff. Don't be like, oh, I'm not gonna talk to you because you're a fan of a rival team. Oh, like blah blah blah. I don't like you. Like what? Like you both like the same sport. Like stop.
I don't know. It's a personality thing. That's what I'm saying. These people, they already have personality issues, and they just they use the sports fandom as their thing to like start a problem. Like, all right, well, you got that, bro. It's not that serious, man. I'm just gonna either mute your account or block you, or just like go in the opposite direction of you. Like, you have a good day.
So I guess we'll leave it off there, guys. Be nice to other people. That's the message of the day. Be nice to fans of other teams.
Sports.
Just be
At
a
least
good
we
person.
have sports. Last year they made us sit in the house. They canceled all the sports, and you had nothing to really argue about besides old games. And after a week of watching old games, I was like, I'm never rewatching a game again.
Yeah.
Nope. Don't want it. Give me the new live games. Like tonight, there is a live football game on tonight. I deadass will change the channel from the Yes Network as soon as 8 o'clock comes. I want to see the pageantry. I want to see the media. I want to see the fireworks. I want to see
hear the music.
Yeah, football is back.
That was a little off.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate Lauren. Enjoy the game tonight. Enjoy all the games Sunday. And tell a friend to tell a friend about this channel and this episode. Send the link, smash like, do all that, and we'll see you again soon.
Appreciate you guys. Peace. End broadcast.